I invite you now to join me in a moment of prayer. Almighty God, known by many names and heard in many voices, we invoke your presence with us this day. Today we celebrate the accomplishments of those who receive certificates and diplomas, of those who begin new chapters in their lives, and we invoke your blessings upon them. There are those here today who have passed through DSCC and seldom looked to the right or to the left. They just blazed right through. And there are those who have struggled and arrived here today battered and bruised, skidding in on two wheels just in time for graduation. Make each mindful, we pray, of what they have accomplished. Let their success amend their self-esteem and give perspective to their achievement. Bless as well those who have supported them and their work in the classroom and at home and all along the way. Teachers who have given of themselves in ways that will only be understood with the passage of time. Families who have sacrificed so much. Friends who learned from them and taught them as only peers can do. We pray for the security of our nation and for the safety of those who defend freedom, whoever and wherever they are. For those who are chosen to lead us in this institution and in our surrounding communities and in our country at large. Help us to be ever mindful of those whose shoulders we stand, as well as those who follow in our path. Even as we celebrate accomplishments and transition, may we continue to seek wisdom. Hear our prayer this day. Amen.
Degree and certificate candidates, family members, Representative Johnny Turner, Regent Bill Summons, Reverend Corey Williams, faculty, staff, friends, and guests. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this 48th commencement. It's a very special time of celebration and recognition. I would like to thank Mr. Justin Brown, Mr. Desiree Dolan, the Jazz Choir, Syncopation and Sensation, and the Dyer County High School Sound of the Choctaws Band for the wonderful music. I'd also like to thank the Dyer County School System, Dr. Larry Lusk and Ms. Laura Brim for allowing us to use this facility. To the 425 candidates for degrees and certificates, I want you to know that we are proud of your achievements at Dyersburg State. Some people call community colleges two-year colleges, but very few members of this class completed in 2 years. In fact, it took on average about 9 semesters for this class to complete, which is equivalent to 4.5 academic years. The average age is 27, with a range from 19 to 66 years of age. In the fall of 2018, independent students will be able to attend Dyersburg State with free tuition if they take at least 6 hours each semester. This new Adult Reconnect program will enable many adults to return to Dyersburg State to complete their associate degree. I think there's at least 3,000 people in Dyer County alone who have some college but have never finished a degree. So we'd love to have them come back to Dyersburg State this fall. Another interesting fact about this class of graduates is that 31 of them are reverse transfers from universities, such as University of Memphis, Middle Tennessee State University, and University of Tennessee at Martin. These graduates attended Dyersburg State but transferred early before completing their associate degree. Now, with reverse transfer, we can award the associate degree to them. There are 218 students today graduating with honors. Of the 425 graduates, 196, or about half of the class, have completed at least one set of co-requisite courses or one learning support or one developmental studies course. 52% of the graduates today completed at least one course at the Jimmy Nafee Center, and 18% completed at least one course at the Gibson County Center. We know that members of this class will make significant contributions to this and other communities, as have the 7,992 graduates who've gone before you. You will be our nurses, healthcare workers, quality engineers, manufacturing technicians, teachers, network administrators, bankers, health information technicians, owners and managers of businesses, cybersecurity and networking technicians, medical coders, accountants, administrative assistants, information technology specialists, musicians, and law enforcement and correctional officers, using what you've learned here to make our communities better places to live. I wish you great success and happiness as you leave here and pursue your dreams. Each person in this class of 425 people will earn on average at least $10,975 more dollars each year than students with only a high school diploma. Over a lifetime of 40 years of work, this will amount to $439,000 per person. The economic value added by these associate degrees will total in excess of $186 million over a lifetime of work. Many of our candidates for graduation have benefited from scholarship dollars raised in our local area. I'd like to recognize members of the Board of Directors of the Dyersburg State Community College Foundation. They have personally contributed funds and have helped raise dollars for scholarships. I would like to ask the foundation board members to please stand as they are introduced. Please hold your applause until I complete the introductions. Dr. Charlene White, Treasurer of the Foundation and Vice President for Finance Administrative Services at Dyersburg State. Mr. Don Myers, Secretary of the Foundation and Vice President for Institutional Advancement and Continuing Education at Dyersburg State. And Ms. Carrie Romero, Chief Performance Officer, D&B Properties for Sonic. Carrie serves now as chair of our annual fund this year, which ends June 30, so she has worked hard to help us raise these dollars. So let's applaud the supporters of Dyersburg State. Thank you. I'd like to also introduce Lou Shaw, President of the Dyersburg State Alumni Association. Lou, you want to stand up? And she will be making closing remarks near the end of the ceremony. The excellent faculty and staff members of Dyersburg State have motivated and challenged this class to achieve at a very high level. And at this time, I'd like to ask the faculty and staff to please stand and be recognized. Let's give them a hand. Today we have 8 faculty and staff members retiring. Would the following retirees please come forward and receive recognition for their service? Again, if you'd hold your applause until I've introduced all of them. First, Miss Marilyn Armstrong, who has served as our Upward Bound counselor and serving over 30 years from 1987 to 2018. Why don't you just stay here? Yeah, that'd be great. Second, Mr. Roger McDivitt. He's been the program director of our Emergency Medical Services program. Roger has served 5 years at Dyersburg State from 2013 to 2018. And third, not everyone could be here today, is Mr. Gary Steelman, maintenance utility worker, has been with us for 6 years from 2012 to 2018. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We really appreciate the dedicated service of these retiring members of the faculty and staff, and assure you they certainly will be missed. I'm sure that you've noticed that several members, sounds like we need to produce sound technicians too. I don't think that's in the program yet, but we need to add it to the curriculum. Huh? I'm sure that you've noticed that several members of the graduating class are wearing gold stoles and tassels to signify that they're extra special in this class of very special people. The 36 students wearing this ceremonial attire are members of the Alpha Epsilon Alpha chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society for Community Colleges. Will the members of Phi Theta Kappa please stand and be recognized? Okay, thank you. Good work. This year marks the 3rd year the Emergency Medical Services Program will have advanced emergency medical technician graduates in addition to paramedic graduates. Until recently, no other college in Tennessee offered an associate degree for advanced EMTs. The Emergency Medical Service Program at all levels is a very rigorous curriculum that produces graduates with great commitment and dedication. The royal blue and white are recognized colors associated with emergency medicine, in addition to the Star of Life. EMS students completing the program are wearing the royal blue stole with the Star of Life emblem and a royal blue tassel. All students completing an associate degree in EMS are wearing this tassel and stole and cord. So would they please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. We're also honoring and thanking the men and women who have served this country in the military with red, white, and blue cords. We started this practice in 2015. Will they please stand and be recognized? We all appreciate your service to this country. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Honorable William Summons, Bill Summons, the faculty member of the Tennessee Board of Regents, appointed in the summer of 2017 by Governor Bill Haslam. Mr. Summons is an associate professor of mathematics at Southwest Tennessee Community College in Memphis. In fact, I had the pleasure of offering Mr. Summons a teaching position back in 1977, so when he started in Tennessee. But he'll bring greetings from the Tennessee Board of Regents, our governing board. And so, Mr. Summons. Thank you for being here.
It's good to see y'all. I love those smiling faces on the graduates. Notice I'm calling you graduates and not students, so it's a good feeling, isn't it? I'm very honored, and it's indeed a pleasure to be here today with you to bring you greetings from the Tennessee Board of Regents, which is the governing board for Dyersburg State Community College and also 12 other community colleges in the state and the 27 colleges of applied technology. But we're here to celebrate you today, right? By earning a degree or credential, you have changed the trajectory of your life. I know this personally because I grew up in a small town, smaller than Dyersburg. I went to a community college. I was the first person on either side of my family to go to college. It's life-changing. You don't realize it yet, but you soon will. You've changed your lives, but you've also changed the lives of those in your family as they see you as an example. You've changed the lives of people in this community because you've made it a better place, and you've made the United States a better place to live in by what you're doing. Thank you for doing this. Thanks also to Governor Haslam, who is the chair of the Tennessee Board of Regents. I don't know whether y'all know that. He's been a vocal proponent of public higher education in the state with programs like the Drive to 55. We're trying to get 55% of the population of Tennessee to have a post-secondary credential. Tennessee Promise, and coming next year, as Dr. Boyer mentioned, we've got Tennessee Reconnect. The Drive to 55, by the way, is 2 years ahead of schedule. So it's just absolutely wonderful to think about that. I want to also thank Dr. Boyer, the president of Dyersburg State Community College, because she dedicated her life to the cause of public higher education in the state of Tennessee. I want to thank the faculty and staff for all they've done because they've also dedicated their lives. They've encouraged you when you were down. They've helped you through troubled times and probably even put up with your gripes and complaints. Right? I'm a teacher, I know. All right? But that's okay. That's how we get through it. That's how we're a community. We're a family. I'd also know some of the faculty here personally. You've got a wonderful group of people to work with. It is a fantastic community when you put all this together. Lastly, congratulations for all your hard work. All TBR can do is offer opportunities. You took advantage of those opportunities. It takes a lot of hard work to be successful. I know a lot of you have overcome some amazing circumstances. Dr. Boyer just mentioned, 9 semesters to graduate. That means you probably had some difficulties along the way, but you overcame them. I want to just tell you that we at the Tennessee Board of Regents and the governor are proud of you and all that you've done. So you're here. You are why we serve. And so I want to just tell you now, go out and have a wonderful life. You'll do great.
Thank you, Mr. Summons. And now it's a pleasure to present Miss Whitley Jump, President of the Student Government Association. Ms. Jump will introduce our speaker. Whitley?
Good afternoon, everyone. As the President of Student Government, I have the pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker. On behalf of the nearly 3,000 students who have attended Dyersburg State Community College this year, either at Dyersburg State campus or the DSCC campus at the Jimmy Nafee Center in Timpton County or the DSCC Gibson County Center, or through online courses, we welcome you to our college. Dyersburg State Community College is honored to have Representative Johnny Turner as this year's commencement speaker. Representative Turner is a retired educator and civil rights advocate who has represented District 85 in the Tennessee House of Representatives since 2010. Representative Turner earned a bachelor's degree from Lemoyne-Owen College and a master's degree from the University of Memphis. While in office, Representative Turner has served as the member of the Transportation Committee, the Education Administration and Planning Committee, the Education Administration and Planning Subcommittee, and treasurer of the Tennessee Black Caucus of State Legislators. She has continued to contribute to her legacy of public work by serving as a member of the Executive Committee for many organizations. Just to name a few are the NAACP Tennessee State Conference, New Memphis Arena Public Building Authority, Leadership Memphis, Lemoyne-Owen College National Alumni Association, Memphis Retired Teachers Association, the United Teaching Profession, Memphis and Shelby County Anti-Predatory Lending Coalition, and the Board of Trustees for Greater Middle Baptist Church. In your program, you will note an impressive list of honors and accomplishments earned by Representative Turner during the 2017 Political Action Award from the Tennessee State Conference of NAACP branches, the 2017 Be the Dream Award, the Living Legends Award from the NAACP Northeast Region, the Living Legends Award from the Memphis Grizzlies and the National Civil Rights Museum, and the Addie G. Owen Racial Justice Award. Please join me in welcoming Representative Johnny Turner.
To President Dr. Boyer, faculty and students of Dyersburg State Community College, support staff, proud and loving parents, and most of all, to today's exceptionally proud and thankful graduates, 425 strong during this entire year. I want to first thank and give my sincere appreciation to Ms. Whitney Jump for that wonderful introduction. In preparation for today, I have learned quite a bit about this outstanding institution, an institution that anyone would be proud to be graduating from. But let me go back. I forgot to thank one of the most important groups in this room, and that is the parents who made the sacrifices so that our graduates would be here today. Please give your parents a round of applause. As a state representative and on behalf of Governor Jim Haslam, I am proud to be a Tennessean. I am proud because of the great efforts that the state has taken under his leadership in providing college scholarships and opportunities such as the Tennessee Promise, Tennessee Connect, and the various other programs that have been implemented during his administration so that anybody, any Tennessean who wants to improve their lives and make their condition better, your state will pay for it. Let's give a round of applause to Governor Haslam. Class of 2018, today is the first day of the rest of your life. I know you've heard that many times before, but today it should have special meaning for each of you. Where will you go from here? What will you do to make a difference in this world? What motivation do you need to continue your educational journey? I really don't know why I was chosen to be your commencement speaker, but Dr. Boyer told me, she recommended me because she had heard me talk during the activities celebrating the 50th commemoration of the death of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. And I have spoken in schools and colleges and some universities carrying the message of peace and the influence that Dr. King had on my life. So today, not only am I here to recognize the accomplishments of the graduates, but also to remind each one of us in this gymnasium that we are here today together because of the work of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. They made the mistake of not telling me how much time I had, but I hope you'll bear with me, because what I want to do with you is something perhaps that you have never heard, and I'm going to share a few of my personal experiences that have brought me to this place and this time, those experiences that have made me who I am. And as I share my experiences, I hope that somewhere through what I say, that you will find your place in what the world has to do and what you can do to make the world a better place beginning today. I was an avid follower and believer in the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Every march that he led during the sanitation strikes in 1968 in Memphis, I was there. Every march, every speech that he gave during that turbulent time, I was there. On April 3rd, 1968, when he gave his prophetic "I have been to the mountaintop" speech, I was right there. And even more than that, on August 28th, 1963, along with 250,000 others who believed and felt as I did in Washington, D.C., when Dr. King gave his brotherhood masterpiece, "I Have a Dream," I was there. I returned in 1973, 1983, 1993, and in 2013, on the 50th anniversary of the 1963 March on Washington, I was a special guest sitting in a reserved seat as being one of those who participated in the 1963 March. In the time we have left, I'm going to share with you these three personal stories. I was born in a segregated society, and I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable about what I'm going to say, because the fact that we are here together today means that these experiences that I had no longer exist because we have come to the realization that we are one people under God with liberty and justice for all. We have come to that place. Segregation was a way of life as I was growing up as a child. I could only go to the zoo on Thursday. I could only go to the fair on Monday nights. I could only sit in the top row, in the top or attic, as you want to call it, of the movies. I couldn't sit on the front floor. That was only reserved for white patrons. But the most humiliating thing, and these are the experiences I'm going to share with you, was riding on the bus. Because every time I rode on that bus, I was made to feel that I was less than a human being. My first experience was I was in the second grade, 7 years old. We had moved to the other side of town, and I had my little 6-year-old brother with me. And we went to the back of the bus, as we always did. We didn't know why. We just knew that all black people had to sit in the back. I didn't think anything about it. But this day, a little white girl about my age got on the bus. She looked in the back and she said, "Mama, look at all the niggers in the back." I can't begin to tell you what that did to me. I said something must be wrong with me for that little girl to point in this back and say what she did. That was my first experience on the bus that made me who I am today. The second experience, I remember during the days of being a freshman at Lemoyne-Owen College. I had to ride the bus across town. I would get on at the end of the line in an all-black neighborhood because whites and blacks could not live in the same neighborhoods together. They were not as privileged as we are today when we realize that we are all of God's children and that we can make this world a better place by being kind and equal and being able to have my white brothers and sisters as neighbors. But that was not true then. I would get on the number 7 crosstown, and when I'd get midway, there was an intersection. I would always sit midway the bus. Even though blacks could not sit in the front, I just could not live with myself by going to the back. So I would sit midway hoping that whites would not get on to the point that I would have to move. But at this intersection, there were 3 schools that let out at the same time. And I'd always get this funny feeling in my stomach, oh God, please, please don't let me have to move back today. Please don't let me be ashamed one more time. And so I said, I'm not gonna move today. So the bus filled up and the little white girls were standing around me. My girlfriend got up immediately and went to the back. So noticing my reluctance, she came and touched me on my shoulders. And she said, Johnny, if you don't move, the bus driver who was white is going to come and curse you out. And if you don't move then, he's going to call the police. All the police are white. All the bus drivers are white. All the judges are white. All the people with whom you come in contact are white. And the worst thing, you may never make it downtown alive. You will never begin to imagine how I felt. I died 1,000 deaths as I slowly moved to the back of the bus. And I will never forget the feelings I had, the anger I felt, and the humiliation I experienced when these girls giggled as I walked slowly to the back of the bus. When the sit-in movement came, I was ready. I remembered the voice of that little 6-year-old girl. I remembered the humiliation of having to walk to the back of the bus to give somebody my seat simply because of the color of my skin. I was ready. I was ready for that movement. My parents told me not to get involved. My teachers told me not to get involved. They said you would never be able to get a job, but I did not care. They had not experienced what I had, or if they had learned to adjust to it. But you see, that day, I made that decision that my life would change because I would never be treated as a second-class citizen again if I didn't stand up for what I felt was right. And in the message that I'm giving to each one of you, the reason I'm giving it to you is there is a message that each one of you should answer to in your life. It won't be the one that I had. We have overcome that. But there is a message in what I have for you to serve as a guide in making your life the best that it can be. The system, you see, my teachers and my parents told me not to sit in because they knew I would I would be jailed, which I was. In fact, on one of my occasions, I was the only one detained overnight because the jail matron said, you are a habitual criminal. And she wanted to know how much they paid me. I said, how much they paid me? I said, I am here only because of the color of my skin. I have not done anything wrong. And I have taken it to the point that I say enough is enough. And I was at Lemoyne-Owen College on a 4-year fully paid college scholarship. The practice had been at that time that every undergraduate, I was number 2 in my class, the practice had been that everybody who graduated as an honor student automatically got a teaching certificate. I wasn't even sent an application until years later. And when the director interviewed me, he told me it was a mistake that that application was sent to me because they would never hire me in the Memphis City School. I was the first person in my family to get a college education. And I sacrificed that because I believe in a principle that was far greater than the undesirable repercussions that did occur to me. Yes, he told me, you will never be an employee in the Memphis City Schools because you're a jailbird and you'll be a poor role model for the students. But he didn't know there was a power greater than he was. He didn't know that that same power that kept me, my head straight, and gave me the courage to stand up for what I believed to right was a God that looks on high and treats all of us equal. And so, within a couple of weeks, I got a call from the Board of Education telling me that I've been hired. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. But even though my parents didn't want me to get involved, I think they knew that it was just a matter of time, that I felt a commitment to a cause far greater than any I had ever experienced before, that there was a moment whose time had come, that there was a revolution going on, a revolution to achieve human justice and dignity. And my desire to be a part of that movement was far greater than anything negative that could happen to me. Remembering my experiences on the bus, I was ready. But let me share with you my third and final experience on the bus. And it was my most significant involvement. As a result of the sit-in movement and the leadership and the motivation that Dr. Martin Luther King gave and taught, where if you don't fight back, your enemies won't hurt you. I was a senior at Lemoyne College, and I told you I was on a 4-year fully paid scholarship. We didn't have any books at home. So in order for me to maintain that scholarship, I had to stay in the library every night to get all of my homework because I knew why I was there. I never went in the rec hall, never did any fun things, because I knew not only my future, but the future of my family was resting on my shoulders, because I wanted to be a role model for my sisters and brothers and others who came after me, letting them know it doesn't matter what the challenge is. It doesn't matter what the obstacles are. If you believe in God and you do what you think is right, you can and you will succeed. My third and last experience that I will share with you was the most difficult one of all. The buses were integrated in 1960. Oh, so I said, now I can sit on the bus anywhere I want to. I got the newspaper that day, and it said the buses in Memphis are integrated. Fall year, I got on that bus. When I'd leave the library about 9 or 10 at night, I'd catch the number 4 Walker in an all-black neighborhood. So it didn't matter where you sat then. But when I got to transfer to the bus that took me out east, because we had moved again, I'd get on that bus, all the blacks would be in the back, and about 10 white men in that suit would be in the front. And I said, why? The law says we can sit anywhere we want to. Why are they sitting there? I didn't know then, but I know now. Because they knew they were the maids and the cooks and the workers downtown who cleaned up, and they knew if they sat up front, there was the possibility that they would be arrested. In fact, those of us who sat in, they would publish the name of our parents in the papers, and many of our parents lost their jobs. When I decided I was going to participate, I told them both my parents were dead. I lived with my grandmother, and she didn't have a job. That's how I got over on that instance. But in this instance, I would get on that bus, and as fate would have it, I lived on the last street that separated the white community from the black community. So I'd get on that number 9 Norma, sit right behind the driver. And then when all the blacks got off, my torment would begin. It was awful. They spat on me. They called me everything but a child of God. And on 2 instances, once by a drunk, they almost pulled my arm out of its socket because I refused to move. And the bus driver was awful. I'd get off at my stop, and I'd have my books in my hand, and he would jerk the bus to try to make me fall. And then in the nights that I had on my coats, he would pass my stop. When I tried to get out the bus, he'd try to catch my coat in the door. And then a black girl would have to walk 2 or 3 blocks through a white neighborhood at 10 o'clock at night. It was nothing but a God that helped me survive. And the point that I'm taking, and the thing about it, the movement was over. There was nobody I could tell. I couldn't tell my parents because they told me not to get involved. I couldn't tell the lawyers because the sit-in movement was over. So night after night after night, I endured that torture. I endured that humiliation because I felt that I had as much right to sit at the front of the bus as anybody else. And I did. That experience was so traumatic for me that years later I said to myself, something awful happened in my life. And I can't remember what it is. And one day I was asked by a group of teachers to come and share my story with their classes. And as I sat down to recollect memory, it came to me. Have you ever heard of PTSS, post-traumatic stress syndrome? The same thing that our veterans in Vietnam, the same thing that our veterans in Afghanistan, that's what I had. The trauma, simply because I wanted to be a first-class citizen. And now I give this challenge to you. I share this with you because I'm saying that if I can do it, anybody in this room can do it with the will and the way and the belief that there is a God on our side. And today, I don't discriminate against anybody because I know what it feels like to be discriminated against. Your sexual preference, that's not my business. Your ethnicity, I love you as much as I love my own. The church, the God you worship, as the minister said in the opening, he said, our God who is called by many names. Our God who is called by many names. I will not discriminate against anybody because they have a religion different than mine. Because I believe if I want them to be a Christian like I am, then they should look at me and the way I carry myself and say, I want to be like her. So each one of us should be respectful and help to make this world one world. And when you said the Pledge of Allegiance, we said, one God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What is the bus experience in your life? What can you take from the experiences that you have? What young man or young lady in your neighborhood needs a word of inspiration? What man, young lady, or young man needs help with a homework? It doesn't have to be anything big. It's the little things that we do. Everybody is different, and you can choose. When Trayvon Martin was killed in Florida, when Michael Moore was killed in Missouri, we had the Black Lives Movement to emerge. When women who had remained silent for years and years and years and had been sexually abused came forward, we had the Me Too movement. And most recently, those young people in Florida who lost 17 of their classmates took up the mantle and made a nationwide impact, taking up a cause to make this world better by going to the nation's capital and all the state capitals and demanding that we have some decent laws and changes made in the availability and accessibility of guns. Yes, there is a call for you. There is a cause. And if you don't start one, find one that you can support. I thank you for this opportunity to be with you. It has been my pleasure and my delight, and I wish you the very best in all your future endeavors. God bless. God take care of each and every one. And my sincere congratulations on having reached this great milestone in your life and for having the opportunity to share this precious moment with you. Thank you.
Before I confer the degrees, I want to recognize a special family with us today, the family of Drew Banks. Drew died as a result of injuries sustained in a traffic accident in December. Drew completed the requirements to receive the Associate of Science degree with an emphasis on general studies at the end of fall 2017 semester while attending the University of Memphis. Drew, a 6'3" forward, recruited from Millington High School, was a member of the Dyersburg State men's basketball team in the years of 2015-16 and 16-17, proudly wearing jersey number 31. And I know that jersey and basketball here is on one of the front chairs, and we would like to invite Drew's parents, Frederick and Patricia Banks, and his sister, Tatiana Banks, to join me on stage at this time to receive Drew's degree posthumously. We know that Drew worked really hard to graduate from this college, and this degree we present to the family in recognition of the courses he completed and as a tribute to his life. Frederick and Patricia, we're pleased to have you and your family here today. Our thoughts and prayers are with you as you cope with this loss of Drew.
Dyersburg State Community College is authorized by the College System of Tennessee to award the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Fine Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Science in Teaching, and the Associate of Applied Science degrees, in addition to academic and technical certificates. Today's ceremony includes December, May, and August candidates for degrees and certificates. Will all candidates for degrees and certificates please rise? Madam President, I am pleased to present to you the class of 2018. These candidates have completed or will complete in August the requirements for the associate degrees or certificate as prescribed by the College System of Tennessee and Dyersburg State Community College. These candidates are entitled to the appropriate associate's degree or certificate, which will be conferred.
By the authority vested in me by the Tennessee Board of Regents for the Tennessee College System of Tennessee, and with the recommendation of the faculty of Dyersburg State Community College, I confer the appropriate associate degree or certificate upon each candidate. You may be seated. Okay.
Will the candidates in the Division of Arts and Sciences please rise and come forward? The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Arts degree. Samantha A. Qatar, summa cum laude. The following candidate is receiving the Associate of Fine Arts degree. Samantha Elise Stearns. The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Science degree. Guadalupe Janine Alvarez. Taylor Vaughn Anderson, cum laude. Jacqueline Nicole Baker, magna cum laude. Tevin Earl Banks. Natasha Hector Barkin. Erin Nicole Billings, magna cum laude. Jonathan Terrell Black. Haley Nicole Blackwood. Damon Body, cum laude. Mary Catherine Brown, magna cum laude. Kayla Monique Bryant. Kristen Taylor Burgess, magna cum laude. Hope Alexandra Burnett. Takindria Tashay Burnett, magna cum laude. Keontae C. Butts. Narisha Bonet Campbell. Jaitha Shavon Carnes. Hannah Marie Cavness, cum laude. Dazan Yvette Clark. Alexandria LaKay Cordell. Austin Taylor Criswell. Christopher Hugh Davis. Michaela Ryan Dobis. Leah Nicole Dotson. Corsandra Jeanette Dow. Jeremiah Patrick Elsie. Anne Elizabeth Finley, cum laude. Aaron J. Foster. Jonna Frazier Owen, cum laude. Abigail Jo Garrett, magna cum laude. Jessica Leanne Gershon, cum laude. Miguel Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Courtney Lucille Gray. Alicia Tori Gray. Crystal Denise Harris. Shabazz Champ Haynes. Jerica Eve Cartwright Hoskins, summa cum laude. Brianna Kuule Hosterman. Jacob Tyler Hod, cum laude. Jaslyn Desiree Jackson. Brianna Marie Mello Jensen, magna cum laude. Alex Christopher Johnson. Sheree Lene Johnson. Cody Scott Johnston. Kelly Nicole Kesterson, magna cum laude. Dalen Nicole Ladd. Sydney Hope Langston. Sarah Jessica Lewis, magna cum laude. Michael Stephen Long. Alexa Kaylin Mars, cum laude. Chancellor Gregory Lamont Martin. D'Angelo Marquis Mason. Miranda Lee McCormick. Caitlin C. McDonald, cum laude. Rebecca Suzanne Medford, cum laude. Alexander Gonzalo Morales. Shakira Monet Neal. Kimberly Shanice Wade Nolan. Philip Wesley Nowden. Jessica Lynn O'Brien. Juliana O. O'Gwen. Candace Nicole Paris, magna cum laude. Sarah Kathleen Poole, cum laude. Mark Hunter Pope, cum laude. Shamia Kier Mitchell. Mario Ramirez Mandujano, summa cum laude. Darius Trayvon Razor. Cameron Joseph Reed. Gabrielle Ann Richardson. Matthew Dylan Rivers. Justin Brant Romero, summa cum laude. Chelsea Jordan Scott. Mary Grace Symington, summa cum laude. Katie Ann Smith. Kristen Danielle Solomon. Garrett Morgan Stillman, cum laude. Desiree Antoinette Taylor. Kimberly Michelle Carter Terry, cum laude. Kamisha Michelle Thompson, cum laude. Brianna Ray Turner, magna cum laude. Hannah Lee Weathers, magna cum laude. Justin Ray Webb, cum laude. Brianna Ray Weidenbach, Shay. Nathaniel Jeffrey Wendell, cum laude. Kadarius Trayshawn Wilder. Regal Brianna Williams. Donovan Perez Wilson. Norma Leanne Young, cum laude. The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Science in Teaching degree. Christina Marie Martin Crissel, cum laude. Candace Nicole Fuller. Kaylee Rihanna Martin, summa cum laude. Erica Marie Nall. Donna Annette Murphy Ripley, cum laude. Amanda Louise Sanchez, cum laude. Samantha Reed Walton, summa cum laude.
Will the candidates in the Division of Business, Technology, and Allied Health please rise and come forward? The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Science degree. Ratasha Michelle Bonds. Patrick Ian Capps, cum laude. Erin Elizabeth Clark, summa cum laude. Allison Elaine Diaz. Asia Alexandria Gingery, cum laude. Elfrida Mabon. Darius Cortrez Morgan. Naisha Simone Nash. Joseph Blake Streeter. The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Applied Science degree. Bailey Marie Vargas, summa cum laude. Haley Berryman. James Tyler Brinley. Jennifer Michelle Dial, magna cum laude. Sandra Lynn Eves, summa cum laude. Brandon C. Grooms, cum laude. Crystal Ann Huber, summa cum laude. Jessica Rose Hurley, cum laude. Natasha Lynn Lundgren. Lori Reeves, summa cum laude. Abigail Cynthia Lindsay, summa cum laude. Charles Claiborne Max. Corey Eileen McKinney. Chelsea Lynn Mosier. Sandra K. Moten, cum laude. Terry Lynn Overturf, cum laude. Lamika Purnell Washington. Joseph Wayne Pitts, cum laude. Anthony Andrew Puente, magna cum laude. Passion Lanier Pugh. Latoya Waynette Shedd, cum laude. Christian Michael Sweat, summa cum laude. James Anthony Taylor. Bryant Mitchell Ward, cum laude. Andrew Donovan Webb, summa cum laude. Crystal Renee Wedley. Julia Morgan Williams, summa cum laude.
Good job, baby. Good job.
Christina Nicole Eves Yates. Savannah Evelyn Louise Yeager, summa cum laude. Danielle Leanne Hosterman. Stephanie Lynn Glover Medlin. Edward Charles Taylor, Jr. Shania Taylor Walker. Carrie Lorraine Wilson. Jessica Nicole Carol Wolf. Bethany Roseanne Wright.
Will the candidates in the Division of Nursing please rise and come forward? The following candidates are receiving the Associate of Applied Science degree. Capri Nicole Anderson. Kristen Alexis Adelot. Kayla Nicole Bayer. Kylie Renee Beavers, cum laude. Candace Michelle Billings, cum laude. Tristan Kaylee Fox, cum laude. Kayla Ann Bradshaw. Tara Lynn Brandon. Megan Brown, cum laude. Right, okay. Johnny Ray Dunn Butterly. McKenna Paige Callens. Leah Jane Cherry, cum laude. Rhonda Michelle Dawson. Scarlotta Marie Dowler. Michael Albert Embry. Megan Ann Garrett, cum laude. Erica Natasha George. Jenny Kristen Tucker George, cum laude. Lakeisha Kenyetta Hardville. Tiffany Dawn Hatch. Catherine Elizabeth Hazlett. Roxy Clark Hopkins, cum laude. Constance M. Howe, cum laude. Wiggly Hannah Junk, cum laude. Katie Ann Lacoste, cum laude. Christina Marie Ortez Reese, cum laude. Eleanor Lee Peterson. I think I said it wrong yesterday. Cherie Danielle Creasy Reynolds. Adam Rouse, cum laude. Jana Renee Seals. Madison Claire Surratt, cum laude. Daniel Stone Taylor. Vicky Van Trump, cum laude. Aaron Patrick Williams, cum laude. Charlene Williams. LaShonda Michelle Smith, cum laude. Denisha Shayrell Wynn.
On behalf of the Dyersburg State Community College Alumni Association, I would like to congratulate the class of 2018. You have worked hard, and you should be very proud of this accomplishment. Whether you are continuing your education or joining the workforce, I encourage you to become a member of the Dyersburg State Alumni Association to give back to the college that invested in you. Again, congratulations and good luck in all your future endeavors.
You're invited to the reception, which will be held in the Commons area immediately following the recessional. Will you now please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the recessional?
As your classes and your grading, that's all complete. May you strive toward excellence in all that you do. As the speeches all conclude, may your voices rise up to pronounce justice and peace in the world. As the fanfare cease, may you sing of joy even in the dark and lonely places. As the applause quiets, may you celebrate and lift up those around you. And as you graduate today, just now, may your achievements grow and cause growth in all your communities. May you sometimes get it right. And may you laugh when you don't. May peace surround you. May love permeate you. May gratitude overwhelm you. And may we all know the overwhelming blessings of the one who created all things. Go in peace.